How's it going, everyone? So I just want to do a quick instructional video on things that I wish someone had taught me when I was learning how to ride electric unicycles. So I'm going to start with mounting. So what you're going to want to do is you take your dominant leg, the one that you use for like kicking soccer balls, footballs, etc., baseballs if you're crazy, and you put it against the EUC and go ahead and put a significant part of your weight into it, so it compresses the wind's about to take over the you put your weight into it so it compresses the suspension if you have it, and then you start pushing down on your toes so that the EUC starts moving forward, but before you get to that, you're going to want to figure out where the actual motor power comes in. So you can stand next to a wall or like a rail, and then get up on it, and then just slowly start rocking back and forth, feeling where the power kicks in, where the motor starts jumping up, and then you'll work on your dismounts as well. So you can go up, down, and so once you've got that to where you can go along the wall, and sometimes you can even practice just going forward, like after pushing off the wall, like getting on, and then go ahead and accelerate and get off the wall. But that may become a crutch, so I like to get away from that as soon as possible and get it to where you're again bracing so that the wheel doesn't topple over to your dominant foot side. You're pushing actually to the left, and that's what I mean by bracing, and then engaging the motor to go forward before you actually get your left foot off the ground, or your non-dominant foot. So if you watch closely, that's what I'm doing. So once more, I'm not putting, what I am not doing is I am not putting pressure into the wheel and then trying to jump on quickly, so that I'm compressing the suspension at the same time I'm trying to place my foot, because then you're trying to find a moving target, which is different than when you're actually moving forward, because it's at least it's in a straight plane. So let's see if I can show you here. You should be able to eventually get to the point where you can go one-footed before you actually bring the other foot up. That probably wasn't a good demonstration there, but let's see. One foot. And then of course stopping is the same. You just lean back and then put your foot down. A lot of people say that you can do better by starting parallel to the pedal, so you're just bringing it straight in. But eventually you'll get to the point where you can, have your left foot anywhere. So. And when you're starting, you're naturally going to want to look down, and that's going to impede you. So you're going to want your knees bent just a little bit, and then you're going to want to look towards the horizon. So you can practice that when you're actually doing the wall thing, because I think I was probably looking down, but that's just because I've gone to the point that I can look down and continue forward. But look towards the horizon, toes down, and then shoulders leaning forward. The best way I can explain it is, imagine you're balancing a broomstick. You're the broomstick, and the EUC is your hand doing the balancing. So trust fall forward. All right, and let's do a little bit of turning. So turning can be tricky. You're gonna wanna, I like to actually extend, I call it duck foot. entire foot on the other side. And it makes you turn because the EUC leans. And of course, another thing you can do is turn your shoulders. So turn your shoulders and your belly button to where you want to go. And that makes it almost naturally, because your EUC is going to follow that, where your body's turning. It's just body mechanics. So yeah, I think that concludes lesson 1. We went through, the wall stop. The wall start. Wall stops are just the same. I tell people not to rely on the wall. Like, get it, if you need to figure out just where the motor's kicking in and all that, use it for then, but don't use it as a crutch, because it'll hinder your ability to get going from a stop. So I've gotten to the point where, like, I can start on a narrow, like let's say there's 2 people to each side of me and I don't want to crash into them, they're starting too. I can get going forward and stay relatively on a straight line. And that's what you want to do. Then if you want to turn it immediately when you're getting on, let's see if I can do that. So turn immediately, which is a little bit more advanced. But if you're getting to the point where you can ride with 1 foot, going from your start, then you're pretty much almost there, because you'll be able to nail getting on and then of course riding off. So I think that's a good lesson.